Hi, welcome. My name is Dr. Forrester Dean, chiropractor and sports medicine physiotherapist practicing here in Torrance, California in my beautiful campus. Thanks so much for joining me. Today we're going to be talking about the lying series for the Swissball stretch. And so remember, we have an option for a 55 centimeter ball. This one's a little bit overinflated, or a 45 centimeter ball. Now it's not necessarily because, you know, a tall ball for a tall person or a short ball for someone who's not as tall. The issue is, what is the stretch about and what do you want to get out of the stretch? So if you go ahead and get both size balls, I recommend kind of trying the different drills, the different stretches with both balls to see what kind of variation you can kind of get, what kind of difference you can get in the stretch. So we're going to start today with the large ball, the 55 centimeter ball. And the first stretch we're going to do is the back bend. So there are two versions of the back bend. Okay, there's one that's pretty easily accessible, and there's one that's a little bit more challenging, but I'm going to go ahead and show you both of the stretches. So the first one, we're going to start on top of the ball, and again, as I explained in the workshop video, it might take a little bit to get used to, you know, getting set up and laying on the ball. In the beginning, you might be a little nervous about it, or the ball might be a little shaky. Okay, so with a wide-legged stance, go ahead and start to roll down. Tuck your chin in and go ahead and come till your head is comfortable on the ball like this, and your nose should be pointing straight up. So make sure that your head isn't hanging off of the back of the ball, at least to begin with, right? If your nose is pointing up, your neck is going to be a little bit more relaxed and you're less likely to get dizzy. Okay, so hands on the hips or hands on the thighs. Go ahead and separate your feet out left and right, and then go ahead and pulse up your hips. And if you want, you can put your hands on your hips and you can put your thumbs underneath your hips for a little bit of an aid. Okay, so here we go. So we're gonna drop the hips a little bit, take a breath in, exhale, press up, inhale, drop the hips, exhale, press up. So we're trying to press up into a plank. Inhale, drop the hips. Exhale, press up. Squeeze your belly. Good. Inhale, drop down. Exhale, press up. Now, what are we stretching right now? Well, it depends partly on what you feel stretching. Breath in. Exhale. And sometimes you don't feel something that's stretching. That's really true. Breath in. I feel it in my quads right now because they're tight from my workout yesterday. One more. Great. Now I'm just going to kind of hang out here for just a moment, and now I'm going to show you the next one. So this is the next version, okay? Now leave your feet where they are. We're going to get a little bit upside down, all right? So you might get a little dizzy, not to worry. So go ahead, stretch out your legs. Your head's going to be upside down a little bit, and then go ahead and straighten out your legs all the way. It's a little easier when you're not wearing socks. Now I'm going to really open up my rib cage. It's really open, not even just top to bottom, but left and right. I'm going to reach up to the ceiling, and then I'm going to reach over my head, and I'm going to drop my gaze towards my hands, just like that. I'm going to inhale, come to cactus. Exhale, reach over my head. Squeeze the belly. Inhale. Exhale. Squeeze the belly. Now this one, I'm going to reach over my head. I'm going to grab a wrist and pull. On the exhale, I'm going to leave my hands here. Take a breath in. Exhale, pull the other wrist. Inhale, switch. Exhale, pull. Inhale, switch. Exhale, pull. And one more time. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Okay, so this is the tricky bit. How are you going to get out of here? Okay, so what I want you to do, make sure your eyes are open. Come back into your hips position here. Put your elbows on the ball. Start to tuck your chin. Keep your elbows in the ball. And then gently start to walk up. Hands on the ball. Stop. And just check to make sure that you're not dizzy, right? Because you were just upside down. Okay, so I feel good. Okay, so what I'm going to do is park myself back up on the ball. Okay, now there's another version of this. Okay, that might be a little more accessible. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to roll down. And I'm going to roll down a lot and walk my legs out. Now notice when I press up, my nose is pointing forward and my head isn't upside down anymore. Okay, so let's try this one. So notice that I'm quite a bit lower. My rib cage isn't as open as it was on the other one where my head was upside down. But what I want to show you is that there's a variation. So let's try this. Reach over your head, take a big breath in, exhale, pull. Now instead of, make sure you gaze up at your hands, but make sure your nose is still pointing up. If it's not, you need to adjust. Inhale, exhale, pull. And you want to make sure you're moving nice and slowly when you stretch. Make sure you're not in a big hurry. Breath in. Let's just do 5, so we'll do one more. And switch. Okay, so getting out is the same thing. So go ahead and bring your arms down. Start to tuck your chin down. Walk in, put your elbows in the ball. Tuck your chin. Walk back up. Make sure you stop for a second. Make sure you're not dizzy. Now, I'm not going to say if you're the kind of person that gets dizzy or, but if you were just doing 20 minutes of sprint training and then you come to stretch, there's a good chance that you might be a little bit dizzy when you come up. Okay, let's go to the next one. So we need the mat. The next one is side ball dive. This is probably one of my most favorite stretches ever. So I'm going to kneel here, and then I'm going to press the ball into my hip, okay? Now I want to make sure I don't lose contact with the ball when I set up, okay? So pulling my belly, my feet are pretty much in alignment. I'm going to go ahead and tuck my back toe under. I'm going to keep the ball pulled into my hip. And then I'm just going to lean gently into the ball and put my hand on the floor. And then I'm going to press up. So notice that my shoulder is over my hand. So if you press up and your arm is out here, the ball is too big. Okay, so you need a smaller ball. Or you need to modify your position on the ball. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is laying on the side. So there's your first check. So I just need to pulling the ball in to make a little modification. And then I'm going to get really sideways here. My back toe is tucked. The top foot is flat. Some people use just their toe. I think a flat foot is better. Okay, so we're going to take the hand close to the face. You're going to bend your knees down, and you're going to take a big breath in, turning my head to the ceiling. I'm going to exhale. And I'm going to push. Squeeze the belly. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. High tree. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. So that's the first level. Okay, now we're going to go to the second level. So we're going to do 5 of each. This time, I want you to take the bottom hand. You're going to grab the top wrist. You're going to get really sideways. We're going to bend the elbows, take a breath in, gaze up. Exhale. Really bow. So I'm pulling down and out. Inhale. Exhale. Make sure you start to roll your chest gently up to the ceiling. Two more. I could do 100 of these. Squeeze the belly. One more. Yeah. And honestly, like on the last one, I think I just have to hang out here for a second. Yeah. I do love increments, but I do love the stretch. All right. And then we're going to come back up, come to kneeling. Okay, so you remember how it works. If we do one side, so right side of the body, we need to centralize. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick rollout, and you're going to see this on the next series, on the kneeling series. So this rollout has like honestly a lot of good uses. Okay, so here we go. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So we're just going to do 3 of those. Okay, roll out. All right, now let's try the other side. So I'm going to set up my mat. I'm going to get my ball. I'm going to step that, so the outside leg steps up. Okay, move my condenser. All right, so this is the top leg. When you end up laying on the side of the ball, this will be the top leg, right? So the top leg is on the outside, all right? Inside leg is the bottom leg. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna lean into the ball, gonna set up, put my hand on the floor, tuck my back toe. Now make sure both legs are stick straight, really, really, really straight, okay? And then I'm gonna check to make sure that my shoulder is over my hand. I'm going to reach up to set up, lengthen my spine, elbow to the side, hand near your face. I'm just going to turn a little bit. Exhale, reach. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Squeeze the belly. Inhale. Exhale, reach. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Remember, don't look at the floor. Inhale. Exhale, reach. Okay, so something I say a lot when I'm teaching is don't look at the floor. There's nothing interesting on the floor. Right? There's nothing interesting on the floor. Okay, so here we go. Reach over the top. Bottom wrist is going to grab the top wrist. Bend the elbows in. Get sideways. Make sure that your legs are straight. Take a big breath in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Relax your neck. Inhale. Exhale. Now I'm not yanking or jerking on my arm. It's a light touch. One more. Exhale. And I feel like when I do side ball dive, I feel like each one that I do, I get a little bit more curve. My ribs get a little bit more open. And I'm continuing to talk and tell you a story because I love this stretch. And I just want to be here for a half a second more. Okay. And then let's come out and come back up. And then remember, we need to go ahead and do a centralizing stretch. So we're going to do the rollout. And you'll get details on this in the next series. I'm just going to do 3. 3 is plenty. Great. Okay. Last one we're going to do is bear hug. And I'm going to start with the small ball, as I did in the workshop, just so that you understand what the bear hug is about. So bear hug, let me move up here a little bit. Bear hug is a chest opener. Okay, now if you have a cranky low back, you may not love this. So I have a cranky low back, I'm going to start with the small ball, but then I feel like when I do some of these, then I can do a couple with the large ball. Okay, so you're going to pull the ball in nice and close, give it a squeeze, and then I'm going to kind of keep my chest on the ball, and I'm going to slide the pad away down towards my knees, hands here, and I'm going to slide. Now you can use a pillow. Honestly, you can go straight down onto the floor if you want, right? I like the pad because it feels nice, and I want my stretch time to feel really nice. And then I'm just going to give the ball a big hug, and I'm just going to kind of walk my thighs back and forth, relax my feet, relax my legs, relax my shoulders. So I'm in a pretty good back bend right now, and I'm just going to rock and roll, just side to side, rock and roll, just like that. Now, you could do a little extra, kind of hang out here. So remember, it's breath to motion. Inhale. And my back just adjusted. That's so nice. So I feel like I'm really getting some nice motion in what's called the TL junction, thoraco, or your chest spine that's in your rib cage area, and your lumbar area. So there's one vertebrae, this little cranky guy in there, and it kind of gets sticky, right? TL junction, thoracolumbar junction. All right. And that rotating bit is kind of like giving it a little love. Okay, so we're going to come out. So I'm just going to tuck my toes and press up and come out. And then if you want, let's go ahead and try with the larger ball. Okay, so same thing. I need to move back up. Kneel on the pad, chest on the ball, and then I'm just going to come into a chest plank, slide that back, and then I'm going to give the ball a big hug, and I'm going to slide down. Oh, this feels so great. Okay, yeah. Okay, now I'm in a sharper curve because the ball is bigger. Okay, now I'm just going to work my hips down little by little until I can get my hip points on the floor. Now, if your hip flexors, which are here, are really tight, this might not be so accessible for you. Okay, now we're just going to roll side to side. So remember, we don't want to do a stretch where we just go in it and just stay there, right? Because that tissue, if it just is lengthened without motion, it'll actually start to tighten up. And that's the opposite of what we're looking for. This feels so good. It's like rocking in a boat. Yeah, side to side, breath to motion. Breathe in and out each time on each side. Let's do a couple more. bear hug. Isn't this fun? It's also, it's kind of a playful stretch. Okay, so how am I gonna get out of this? Just walk my hands back, and I'm just gonna press up. Okay, let's see, I think that's it. Yeah, so that's the lying series, okay? And then now we're going to move on to the next stretch, which looks like it's the kneeling series, and this is the biggest series, okay? So Dr. Dean, I'll see you there.